Welcome to the SpeakerHub daily co-working session. I'm Ron Story, the head of product here at SpeakerHub. We're joined by Angela Lewis, head of operations, and this is our daily call where we answer questions about getting booked, make suggestions about getting booked, and overall help people to get booked for paid speaking gigs, podcast interviews, and press coverage. So if you're a speaker that's watching this or an aspiring speaker that's watching this, you would like to join us, if you go to speakercoworking.com, you can join us live every day at noon Eastern by using that link to get the Zoom link. You can come in and hang out with us and let us help you. Whether you're a SpeakerHub customer or not, doesn't matter. We don't care about that. All we care about is helping you to get on more stages. So normally we open this up to questions and celebrations of good outcomes, whether it's booking or something of that sort. We would love to talk about it. If not, we'll go to questions. Any good outcomes, any replies, any bookings in the last 24 hours? Oh,
I've
cool.
gotten some replies, but no bookings. I have just embraced the speaker flywheel. In case you haven't noticed, I've been moving up the leaderboard.
It's good, man. That's important. That is super duper duper important. When you say you got replies, are they positive or negative?
Positive, saying they'll get back with me. They'll send me a form for me to fill out.
That's
So
important.
it seemed positive.
No, it's really important. John, what's up, man?
Hey everybody, I'm John, in Arkansas. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And new to SpeakerHub, kind of coming at it from a different angle that I want to get some input on from some of you. But I published my first article yesterday to Speaker Camp, I believe it's called, Training Hub.
Skill Camp.
Skill Camp,
Yep.
thank you. Skill Camp. Yesterday, I'm pretty pleased with it. And I'm coming to the end of a book that I'm written on emotional intelligence and how to gain it. So coming at it from that angle at first, I feel real confident, Ron, that I'm ready to really look at my first podcast. And so I guess my question to you, and then maybe perhaps later to everyone in general, I'm so sorry, is how can I best prepare for my podcast? What can I expect? How, knowing what you all know, how should I best prepare? Just in a word. Thank you.
So one of the good things about podcast, which makes it totally different than public speaking, is that podcasting is something that we've been practicing since we've been talking. It's a conversation, right? Versus a speech, you're the only person talking. It's a monologue, right? So that conversation is something that you're probably already prepared for, because it's usually not in the host's best interest to embarrass his guest, right? So they're gonna ask you questions about what you're doing and allow you to explain what you're doing and ask for your opinion about how you help people. But the best preparation you can do is just understand the audience that you're going to be talking in front of on that podcast. Listen to an episode or two so that you understand the style of interview from the podcast that you're going to be on. A good example of this is I went on a podcast that Angela was on 3 weeks before me, right? So Angela went on, the guy reached out to me and he says, "Hey, I think you would be a great interview for us." So I listened to Angela's podcast so I could understand what's the flow of the guy, what type of stuff is he kind of getting excited about, what is driving his questions, what point of views. Did he want to be really technical about getting booked, or did he just want to know my life story? I learned all of that. And in the first 3 days of publishing my podcast, we were already at 17,000 views in the first 3 days. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best interviewee ever, but I watched the blueprint ahead of time to kind of know what he was looking for and know that let me know what his audience is looking for, right? So I was able to be a better guest by being better prepared for how I wanted to answer the questions. Does that make sense? So, a couple things you want to do is, like I said, understand that you can relax because it's a conversation. The second thing is listen to a couple of episodes so that you kind of get a flow of how the show goes,
Yes.
right? And then the third thing is, what do you want the audience to take away, right? Because everything that you talk about should be leading them in a particular direction, right? So if I'm on a podcast about travel or living abroad, I know that it's going to end up with me encouraging them that they should take the leap earlier than what I did. If I'm on a podcast about getting booked on speaking gigs, I know it's going to be going in the direction of don't wait on someone to book you, proactively pitch yourself, right? If I'm going on a podcast about buying a business, I'm going to, talk about why you don't need to raise investor money and you could do a deal yourself with the money that you have, right? So depending on which podcast I'm going on, I know what outcomes my story should lead to. Does that make sense, John?
That's relevant to that audience. Yes.
Exactly, right?
Right.
And then I got to understand what my call to action is going to be. What am I going to give away to them? When they get done hearing me, how do I help them to take that next step in their relationship with me? They've already heard me. Because here's the great thing about podcasting that people miss. If somebody reaches out to you from a podcast, all you got to do is tell them where to buy. The reason being is they've already been sold. They've already listened to a 1-hour sales presentation that was kind of undercover sales presentation.
Yes.
So they're already pre-sold before they get to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But if you don't give them the next thing to do. So if you're trying to sell your book or sell more books, I would drive people. I think that the book sale is great, but if they go directly to Amazon, you don't have a relationship with them.
Books aren't the interest. I can drive them to, I do coaching. I provide coaching sessions to help people transform. And
right.
So well spoken, and I have an idea already. Thank you.
Yep. I want to share something with you. Share your screen with me if you can, and go to your speaker.
You want me to share my screen?
Yep. Share your screen.
How do I do that?
Down at the bottom, there should be an arrow, green arrow pointing up in the center of the
there
Zoom
it is.
window.
Down. Yeah.
And you should share a browser window and open up SpeakerHub Pro. I want to show you some of the things that we've created in frameworks that helps you to do this. So if you just open up your browser.
I think I shared the wrong thing.
Yeah, I think you're sharing your extra screen. You must have 2 monitors. There you go. So go ahead and go to SpeakerHub Pro, which is over on the left, the first tab.
Yeah.
Yep. And then go ahead and hit login next to the orange button at the top and go to SpeakerHub Pro. And go ahead and sign in. I think you touched something on your Zoom.
Somehow.
Yeah, that made it a. So you got to use your Google at the top. You see it says continue with Google. Yep, that button. No. It's the John Heavner email. Go ahead and continue with Google. Up at the top. Continue with Google and select the one that's John Heavner.
Yeah.
The second one? No. The John, you're going to the Gmail again. It's going to kick you back out.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and set up your branding kit there.
Right.
Let's see. 1 second here.
I had
Let me,
started that, but
okay, 1 second, John.
good.
Let me, it may be easier if I just take it over from my side and show
All right.
you. So actually, no, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it there. Yep, let's go ahead and do it there. So put your basic information in.
Oh, I had to reinstall Linux. That's what happened.
Oh, no, you're perfectly fine. And yep, and go ahead and put in your LinkedIn address.
I don't have it handy.
Okay, I'll look it up for you and give it to you. So I want it to be right.
I don't know what I'm missing.
Yep,
No.
I got you. Give me a second. I'm going to help you. All right. So in the chat, I just sent you and a link for your LinkedIn. So you should see that in the chat there, and then go ahead and paste that. So I want to show you how frameworks can help you. The frameworks that we've built allow you, it shows you, it's the one beneath it under, I think you pasted that in the wrong slot.
I did.
If you
Right.
go down to where it says LinkedIn right above your website.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I did.
And paste it right there.
I thought
And
I
then it
was,
says, how do you help? That's where you put, I help individuals to break dance, eat tacos, and do karate.
hope it's happy now. Okay.
And then you have to put in a photo. Right? So 1 second here. Yep. So go ahead and put in a photo. And you can always update this photo at another time. So if you just want to pick one, it's perfectly fine. Yep. All right. Now you can go to next.
Jeez.
And how many podcasts would you like to go on each month? Okay. And how many associations would you like to speak at? And conferences?
Each month?
Yep.
Even one would be busy.
Right. So the AI is writing up your bio here. And go ahead and click continue.
I've been hesitating to do this because I haven't finished my headshots.
Yep, but it's okay. So if you look there, is the bio correct?
It's correct enough for now.
Okay.
I'll go
Go ahead
back
and
and
click continue. So based on the topic that you put in, we made some suggestions to you about what you should speak about.
wow.
Does
Wow.
that make sense?
That's very good. I've been
Yep.
working on my speaker page some, but I didn't know that I had Speaker Pro also.
Well, yeah, we set this up with you the last time you and I were on the call.
Okay. It just didn't sink in.
Yep. So go ahead
Wow,
and scroll
thank you.
down.
I'm sorry, and I apologize for taking so much of the panel's
No.
time. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
No, this is it. This is what we do. Go ahead and scroll down and click save and continue.
Yeah.
So now this is where you connect the email account you want your podcast outreaches to go out from.
Okay.
So go ahead and connect your Google account there. All right, and hit continue. And scroll down and hit allow. Scroll down on that, yep, on that page, and you should see something that says continue on the Google page.
Yeah, share. I accidentally hit my
No,
settings.
oh yeah, there you go. It's back. Hit continue. There you go. All right, so now you're ready to go. Go ahead and click get started. Perfect. So here, I'm going to give you a code. I'm going to send this to you so that you can get past this screen here. One moment. You know what? It's not going to do it because it's still going to require you to put, I'm going to send you the code, but it's still going to require you to put in to stop sharing and then put in your credit card.
Yeah.
But let's do this instead because that's going to give you a trial anyway. So here, I'm going to stop the share and I'll show you what should happen once you get past this.
All right.
So here inside of SpeakerHub Pro, what you're going to see is when you go to branding kit, this is where we put all of our stuff about what we do and our website.
Yes.
And all of those things that you just entered, all of that's going to show up here in the branding kit. Okay. Now, why is that important? Because it's going to suggest different topics that you should be going to speak on. So if you see mine are speaking, media strategy, personal branding, let's see, what's another one? Sales, marketing, right? So I can make those my topics. And when I click on podcast, the software is going to automatically start suggesting podcasts that I should go on. Right.
Okay.
So, but here's the cool thing about that. There's a thing down at the bottom called frameworks. And your frameworks will give you your master framework that you can use. It will give you signature talk topics, which you already saw. But here's the cool thing. It gives you, when you reach out to someone, it gives you that 1 to 2 sentences of what you do, right? So if I told you, hey, I help speakers to get paid gigs, podcast spots, and media attention. With my strategies, you stand out, grow your public image, and earn more from speaking. Would you believe that? Yeah, that's what I do. That's pretty much what I do. If I don't like it, I can go in and change it and edit that. But here's the cool thing. When you go on a podcast, you have to have something for them to take away. So this product suggestion framework gives you some ideas of things that you can build on top of the book that you already have.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Of course it does. Yes.
And then we also give you some different ways to engage the audience while you're on the podcast. So let's say I'm on a podcast. Well, I'm going to, start off by telling my story, right? And then I can give them a strategy on how they can do it. So I can say, hey, here's the 6 steps or the 5 steps in order to be a better speaker. The first step is discover what your story is. The second thing is design your plan. The third thing is develop your skills. The fourth is develop your message, and then reflect and refine as you keep using it, right? So we try to give you some frameworks to work with that you can use on any stage. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yep.
It does. Thank you.
So again, so that's what the framework section is. That should help you with the preparation of going on the podcast so that you're not caught off guard. You know what your calls to actions are going to be. You know what your topic is better than anyone else. And, you're able to put your best foot forward.
Right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Ron. And again, everybody, thank you for your patience.
Yeah, no problem at all. Any other questions? John, good to see you. I don't think he's on yet. Mark Irwin, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Leroy, I see you came in. Oh yeah, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Mark Irvin, here in Kansas City, Missouri, and just joined the DP platform that you created, Ron, and just glad to be here. Thanks for the quick invite.
Oh yeah, you're always welcome. This is a call that we do every day at noon Eastern, where we get together with speakers from all over the world who have questions about how they can get booked more on paid speaking gigs, podcast, and press. And yeah, what's your topic? What is it that you cover?
Self-advocacy for people with disabilities, and also from the construction industry, the built environment, consulting architects, engineers, developers to create barrier-free access and accessibility in the built environment.
Okay, no, that's incredible. We have a couple speakers I think you would enjoy meeting. One is Ann McNeil. Her assistant is in here now. Ann isn't on today, but her assistant's here, and Ann is in the construction business. Her main topics are around the construction industry. So that would be a great person for you to meet. And another person is Yvette Pegas. Yvette Pegas does advocacy for people with disabilities also. Yvette has an interesting story because she went in for a minor surgery and it ended up clipping her spinal cord. So and it wasn't supposed to happen. She was totally fine the day before. The day afterwards, she was confined to a wheelchair. So she's done TEDx talks and she's been a big advocate for those with disabilities. So those are two people that are in our group that I think you would enjoy meeting, and I can make an introduction for
That would
you
be great.
because you all are covering the same things. So I'll make those LinkedIn introductions. But yeah, any questions or ideas or comments you have about any questions you ever wanted to ask about how people get booked for speaking gigs?
Okay, so this is every day at noon?
Every day at 12
Eastern
o'clock.
time. Okay.
Noon Eastern. Yep. Noon
Okay.
Eastern, 11
Gotcha.
Central in Kansas City.
All right, thanks.
Yep. Jasmine, what's up?
You always catch me off guard.
You put your hand up.
I know I put my hand, but I figure you're going to be talking to 15 people before you get back to me. No, I want to for speaking gigs. You say if you have any questions about that. I had someone. I don't understand where it came from though, but I don't think I emailed them. I was looking to see if I emailed them, and they reached out to me regarding my fees. So I was going to text you last night to say, listen, but I kind of know how to engage them a little before I throw the kitchen sink at them, because I can always follow up. So someone from the DC area, I don't know if there's anyone on this platform. I was doing the happy dance, to get in my speaking gig, and my trade show that I'm doing in Canada here in Mississauga. It's a fee, it's a trade show. It's a trade show, or yeah, it's a trade show. So it's not much, but things are starting to be along that. Just proof to say, just keep going, because I don't know if it's a podcast. None of the podcasts that I've done has dropped yet, because they said they would let me. They sent it to me first, but I'm doing quite a lot. I'm doing 20 minutes talk with someone today, which could turn into a recording. I learned my lesson now. So I just keep pitching. And, business is going to start coming from east, west, north, and south. The first person reached out to me on LinkedIn. I didn't even know that when someone said, let me ask him what this guy, it was from SpeakerHub. They found me in SpeakerHub.
That's it.
So want me to do, yeah. So
it works.
It works.
No, that's good news, Jasmine. So Mark, so that you're not confused, I started off owning PitchDB. And then last June, we bought one of our competitors called SpeakerHub. And when you look at the demo videos, as you mentioned in PitchDB, you see conferences, associations, and things of that sort, because those videos were made before we bought SpeakerHub.
Okay.
Once we purchased SpeakerHub, we moved all the speaking gigs over there, and we took them out of the PitchDB platform, right? So that was the origin of my question in LinkedIn, asking, hey, what type of stages are you looking to get on? Because if you're just looking for podcasts, PitchDB would work. But if you're looking for speaking gigs, then SpeakerHub is probably the best place for you.
Okay. I'll migrate.
Oh, yeah, we'll help you.
Okay.
We'll help you with
I'm
that.
looking forward to that. I had my first keynote this past June it was a statewide conference. It was really successful. I had an hour on the platform and got to do a lot in that hour. It was great.
So that was the bug that got you, huh?
Well, I actually had done this years ago for my company, whereas we modified homes for people with disabilities. And I wasn't disabled back then. I just had a botched up hip replacement and discovered that people had issues with thinking that towel bars and grab bars were okay to hold on to. And so we converted our construction company to focus on solely that. So I joined John Maxwell's group, became a member of that founders circle back in 2011. And so I've done some before, but this is a rebirth. That's basically what it is.
Well, hey, man, we will allow you to reintroduce yourself, right?
That's it. That's it. I like it.
That's it.
All right,
That's
Jay-Z.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Mark, you're in the right place. You found a home here. You're welcome as long as you want to stay. We don't force anybody to come in, but we will lock you out.
Okay.
We're not gonna lock you in, but we will lock you out, right? No, I'm just kidding. So you're always welcome. Any other questions or comments? We're 30 minutes into the hour that we normally spend here. At 1 o'clock, we usually go into overtime with extra time if people still have questions or comments about what we're discussing for the day.
What kind of contracts do you guys use for your speaking engagements to lock in your clients?
Yep. Bart, anybody want to answer that? I'll let you all do it.
You say contract?
Yeah, agreements.
Oh, I mean, I can share an example with you. I can email you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ron has a different answer for that.
Yeah, I mean, so from our side, we usually, we try to stay away from the contracting stuff because we're not lawyers. So from a legal liability standpoint, we won't provide you with any legal advice. But there's usually, my advice would be to go online or go into ChatGPT and find a sample contract, modify it how you see fit, and then have a lawyer approve it, right? That way you end up with your standardized rider that you can use, in different things. I saw a guy, he had one the other day, and his name is Dr. Will Moreland. And Dr. Will Moreland posted this online. So I don't have a problem with showing it because he put it online, not me. So I just copied it off of his photo. And this was his fee schedule and rider for 2025. And basically he said he charges $25,000 for a half-day session and $30,000 for a full-day session. And $2,000 of travel. If it's international, it's $35,000 or whatever. And if it's a webinar, $7,500. And he gives you his AV requirements and the different products he's asking to sell, and that he'll do a book signing and the pre-event questionnaire. This is just the rider. This isn't the agreement.
Right.
The rider. That this is his side. So a lot of times, sometimes the agreement will come from the event, and then it ends up being a bilateral thing when you submit your requirements, because they'll give you their requirements. So I just thought I would share this because he posted this online on LinkedIn, which is in the public domain. But that's an example of how some people set up their contracts. Again, we're not lawyers. We don't play lawyers, but we suggest that you have one, at least to look over your first contract. Doris, good to see you. Did you see your emails went out? We got them fixed.
Yes, we got those fixed. And this morning I tried to test. First of all, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I tried to send it again, and it says an error occurred. Your emails cannot be sent.
But it just got fixed in the last 30 minutes.
No, no, no. I just did it like 2 minutes ago. I just finished a meeting and said, I'm going to test it. I'm going to send an email, not schedule it, nothing, send it. And it says, no, I cannot send it. So
Share your
I
screen
can
with me.
share.
I want to see what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, please, please do.
Yeah, because I watched your emails go out this morning. So can you just
Yes.
click on your name over on the right?
So my name on the, hold on, let me minimize you guys. My name on the right. Yeah.
And go ahead and click log out.
Log out.
And then go ahead and log back in. All right. And then click on experts on the left. And then there's a guy that has a face that looks like mine. Go ahead and add him to the list.
Go add,
Me?
add.
Yep.
Yeah.
Add me to the list. And go ahead and
I mean,
yep.
do I have to click down menu here?
Yep, just
No.
add me to the default list. No, just it should be a default one in there. The third one from the top.
Oh, here you go, here you go, here you go. Okay.
And hit save.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and click pitch.
Okay.
And it's gonna go ahead and write me an email. And we can see if there's a bug. Has anyone else had any issues sending or anything in the last few hours?
Okay,
See.
so let's just do send.
Boom, message sent successfully.
Okay, let me go to my mailbox because in my waiting, I just continued this. I just had this email that I was
Okay.
going to professional development and I was working on that. Let me see because it didn't send. So maybe that was I needed to log in and out and in back. I don't know. Okay, so hold on. Usually I add my little, yeah, okay, I add a paragraph that I want. Okay, so let's see, send email.
Error sending, please try later. And that's with Doris Hornstein at Gmail.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Okay, you know what? Go to your branding kit and click on my brand and scroll down a bit. And let's look at your signature. Go ahead. Yep, no, that looks fine. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Let's go to a different one. Can you go to the second one? Go back to mailbox. And let's pitch. You want to pitch one of those?
Yeah, no, no, let's go just to conferences,
Okay.
because I was I selected, so Ron, so I was selected last night some that I will send in the morning just to test because, I said to myself, if I can't send it scheduled, let me see if I can go fresh. And so now you see that there's a bug somewhere. So let's pretend that I'm sending something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're doing? So let's say,
Yep.
HR, let's just say, okay.
Yep.
All right. See, all of these I've been sending a lot. I need to find some that they actually.
Okay, so I'll show you an easy way to do that. Scroll back up to the top, click on filter.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's one second. Hold on. Don't do anything. Erase that out. And click off to the side. Perfect. You see where it says show only uncontacted?
Oh.
Okay, and hit filter.
Maybe I wanted to do actually, let's filter also United States only.
Okay.
For now.
But yeah, what I wanted to do was to show you how you can take those out though.
Thank you. Thank you. That's priceless. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so now filter again.
Right.
Okay, so now I have 459.
Yep. And then we want to pitch the ones that are in the fall. There's no reason to pitch any that are in the spring because those are next week. Right?
Yes.
So
yes.
scroll back up to the top. And in the filter where it says all seasons, you see that?
Yeah, but
in the filter, you see all seasons at the top?
All
next to the United States? Yep.
Yes.
Now select summer or fall, either one of those. Yep. And click there again, go back up.
I am up.
Go on the seasons filter and scroll down just a little bit. Let's see what's under there. Yep, click on summer. I want to see what happens. Why did those fall ones go away? All right, so let's pick one of these that are happening in June, July, August.
Okay, let's just do this. Okay. And usually what I do is I go here and I put it under conferences. Is that a good thing or not a good thing? Should I do it?
Well, we already have a category called conferences, but if that's what you're using, go ahead.
So what's the purpose of that? If there is already conferences and chat, what's the purpose of this list? Like what are people adding to this what list?
Yep. So this list is usually around topics such as leadership, HR, things of that sort, because we've already categorized them as conferences, podcasts, local associations. Those are already categorized that
Oh.
way. So there's already a drop down for that.
Oh,
Does that
okay.
make
So
sense?
yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to say mental fitness. Oh, do I have to
So,
start?
well, you have to click off first and then click create a new list.
Oh,
And
okay.
then now call it mental fitness,
Okay. Let's try that.
right? And
Okay.
then now
Stay
hit
tuned.
save.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's say pitch. Okay. Pitch. Now let's see what happens. Thank you everybody for allowing me to showcase my problems here.
No, this is what this is. This is a support call that we do it this way. So
Yeah.
That was a question that I had the whole time, and you asked it for me, so I appreciate it. Now I know how to edit my list.
Exactly. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what list. Okay, so usually I add in a paragraph about testimonials and stuff. I usually do it up here, second paragraph, so they're not so bothered by this. So okay, so let's say, okay, let's just look. Okay. All right. So now I want to do send email.
yep.
I'm not scheduling it right now, so I'm sending. Ah, you went through. Okay. What happened? Like, why did this one went through? Like, what did we do wrong first time around?
I have no clue. I'm on the outside just like you. I'm not looking at the code. I have no idea. All I know is
Okay.
2 out of 3 times it worked just fine.
Okay.
So, and we haven't gotten any other issues. Sometimes, depending on if you've added a thing and you changed your email, that could
Mhm.
cause an issue.
I
but
haven't.
I have no idea. So if you go back to your mailbox and go to mailbox and maybe there's 11 of them in that waiting stage.
Yes, because
Right.
because I was looking at them. Yeah, this one was I was trying to
But
send it.
but try a different one. Maybe that's the only one that doesn't work, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
You got
oh.
11 other ones. Try those, and if you have problems with all 11 of them, then that gives us a sense of maybe there's
Okay.
something else. But let
Okay,
me show you something very, very, very quickly, since
Hold
you
on.
and Cardis
Can
had
I
this
just
question.
send it? I'm not giving up on this thing. So can I try send it one more time? And if this is like going, then I'm like, okay, it's not on my it's out of my hands. Send. No. So it
Yeah,
must
so
maybe it's email or something, right?
but let me help you with something really quickly.
Okay.
Go to the next one, or go to a different one, like the one that says national staff or training, right? You see the third one there?
Yeah. Third one.
Let's go to that one and try that one.
Okay. And then I had the questions, how do I get rid of some of those that I'm not going to send? It came there, I was looking at it, and then I decided I'm not sending it, and I don't know where to put with them. So I leave them at this waiting. And that's
Yep.
la la land.
Yeah, so you can archive those.
Okay. Usually I archive things that I've heard. I mean, sometimes it's automatic, like the email is not good. Okay. I usually add my little paragraph here, just so they know that I've done something that they could actually see. And usually, and I finish it up here with awaiting your reply. That's like how I like to do this. Okay, so let's say send. Nope.
So I don't know what's happened with those that are already on that list. And I will have the team to look into that, but we haven't had any other issues with pitching. So I don't know, maybe there's something in that list or
Ron,
something.
it's Doris. It's Doris. It's somehow because I'm the only one who's complaining about this.
No, but it was working just 2 seconds ago with the other types of pitches. So here's the great thing about it. The system has 4 million opportunities. Don't spend your whole day worried about those 11 that ain't working. Trying to
No,
fix something. So just
no,
pick
it's
the
okay.
other ones.
So how
We'll
do
get
I,
them
if I
fixed.
want to, yeah, so let's say I want to get rid of this because I already spoke to them previously. I have a personal relationship with them. I don't want that. So how do I get out of there?
So you see over on at the top, it says manage contact list. Do you see that? And then pick the list that's on, which is default. See the default list and hit edit.
Yes, yes.
So hit the pencil next to it. And then you can go in and delete whichever ones you want to delete off of there. You see it's called women's. So you can search for women's council.
Oh, I have to go through this whole list? Wait a second.
There's a search button at the top. You see at the top, it says contact name, but you
Yeah,
can search and you can just type in women
okay.
and it'll search and itemize it down. You see how it goes down? And it's that second one there.
Yeah,
And go ahead and hit archive. Right? So now it's gone.
okay. So this shows me all the ones. When I press archive, it shows me, see, association, conferences, it shows me all of the ones that I
No,
archived.
no, it's not showing you anything that you've archived. It's showing you the people on your default list.
Oh,
Right? So that's the list that you have called default. But you see above that, you can see it says back. You see where it says,
yes.
yep, click there, and it takes you back to your list. And you can edit those lists that you've created.
Oh, okay. So
Right.
let's say this one, I decided not to go under podcast because it's not a good match. So how do I say,
Yep.
I don't need that. So it's
So you
archiving
see it's,
also?
well, 1 second. You see it's on the default list. You see that under the name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? So go to manage contact list up at the top
Hold
in
on.
the center,
Oh, manage. Okay, yes, manage.
right? But click the manage contact list, right? Scroll up and go to default over on the right.
Okay, hold on. I have over on the right.
Yep, just scroll up.
Oh,
So where
up
your list
here,
are.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then now hit the pencil next to default
Uh-huh.
and then
And
search
then
for the name of it. I don't remember
okay.
what it was called.
Brown Ambition.
Brown Ambition. Yep. And then hit archive.
Okay, so then it disappears from that. Okay.
There
Okay.
you go.
All right. So now I'm going to try and see. First of all, thank you. Thank you for helping me
Yeah.
out on this one. I'll try to apply to more and see what happens. And
Yep.
so what I'm learning is that if I put it in waiting because I'm still processing stuff, then it may not be sent out because some
Well,
problems.
yeah. So here's one of the major changes we're making, right? Because the only time something goes into waiting is because you started the pitch and it didn't go, right? If you didn't click the pitch button, it would just be new. But once you click that pitch button, it moves over here to waiting and it stays there until you click the send button. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but what you
So-
saw, I clicked to regroup there and it didn't send.
I understand, but that's a bug. We can't teach from a bug. So we'll get that worked on for you, but just from the basics of how things work,
Yeah.
when you click pitch, it moves it from new to waiting. And until you click send, it'll stay in waiting and then it'll go to sent once you click send.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what I wanted to show you in Cardis is, you see, we already have a section called categories that already will organize things based on podcasts, associations, media outlets, conferences,
Yeah.
or whatever. So you don't need to name a list, podcast, conferences. You can name the list something else.
Yeah.
Maybe fall conferences or spring conferences or podcasts from February. Here's what I pitched in February, something like that. But it shouldn't
So
be
maybe, yeah.
the
So
same
maybe
as a
instead of,
category.
yeah, I get you. But maybe for me and maybe other people, the word list is confusing, but maybe you want to say topics or people can choose the topics, what they're going to speak about, or choose like the time that they are going to apply for or something, a different category. Because when you say list, I'm thinking conferences, associations. That's how my
But the majority of people have told us that they prefer those to be called categories of opportunities.
you see.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
but here's the thing. We got 63,000 people. 5,000 of them gonna tell us to do it this way. 5,000 gonna tell us to do it
I
that
know,
way.
I
I gotta find the stuff that's in the middle,
know,
Dries.
I know. I'm with you. I'm totally
know?
with you. It's insane. I know. It's totally insane. Now you're
Yeah.
trying to work with everybody. I know. You have a impossible job sometimes. I get you.
But we're gonna get that fixed though. That video you saw, I recorded the screen so that we can send this over to the dev team to find out why your contact list isn't working. Right.
Okay.
So
thank you.
that'll
Oh,
be
you
sent over to
recorded
them.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I mean we do this in real time. We got to get that fixed because
stop that.
it's one person complaining today and 20 people complaining tomorrow. So I want to get this done. You know.
Yes. On the good news, just so you know, on the good news, I just recorded a podcast with somebody from Australia that I found on your podcast. And she is absolutely a shaker and mover. And I have not yet commented on the ambassador, which I will. But I'm waiting for it also to be live so I can actually share it. But just so you know, it was perfect. And I now have another one for next Friday, another podcast through this. And I have somebody from WCR who I've been like a lot after. And I had a conversation with them on Sunday, and I'm waiting to hear the president herself took a whole hour to talk to me on Sunday. And I think I want to believe that this was a yes, but she needs to approve with boards and whatever. But that would be great. And so once I have that a yes, then I'll be like shouting from the top roof, from the
There
rooftop.
was another gig that you were offered.
I
I
know,
think it
in
was a little bit.
Canada.
Yeah. How did that go?
Canada.
What was the conclusion with that?
So they were ready to hire me, and then somebody said we should hire a Canadian and not an American. And I was like, so it was like totally, I mean, they were like ready to hire me. And then they said, no, with our business, we should hire somebody local, because also the dollars is different and whatever. But I did also get another opportunity for November that is in the works because I sent them an email, and I had a conversation 2 weeks ago with them, and they're passed me over to the director of the event, and that will be in November. So again, once I get a yes on that, that will be, if it goes, and I don't want to even jinx myself, but if it goes, then it will be my highest paid gig ever. So yeah,
It's incredible.
I'm waiting for this to happen so then I can actually prove that experienced speakers do get SpeakerHub referrals, and it works. The pitches work, but I'm waiting for these two to be a yes for me to give this to you. But let me tell you, I've been having a lot of hard time with this sending and not sending, and my email dropping and not my email dropping. Yeah. So, but I'm not giving up. I told you this in a text. I'm like,
no. It's perfectly fine. So I always like to let people know our job is to get you the right data so that you can have the meetings, right?
Yeah.
We're not responsible for. I'm
Exactly.
happy that she's going to get our highest paid gig. But that's not our fault. Our thing is we got to get her the right information so that she can have those meetings, right?
Yeah.
So we want to take credit for getting you the meeting to have the opportunity to be passed along.
That's
Passed
right.
along. Whether you can negotiate the right fee or whatever, we're not even involved in that. Our job is to give speakers the opportunities to have the meeting to negotiate for yourself.
So
right?
let me
That's
teach
what
you.
we consider success.
Yeah, let me teach you something that I just negotiated on Sunday with this 1 hour talk. So they had a budget, and I'm going to be completely honest here in this group. They had a budget of, she told me, we have 2 speakers that we want to have. We want you to open it and an hour or an hour and a half, and then we'll have another person for a half an hour or an hour, depending if you take the whole 60 minutes or 90 minutes. And our budget per speaker is between 4,000 and 5,000. So I schmoozed her more, asking about her problems and what she wants to achieve and all that things. And then I asked her if she looked at my website, and she did. So I got her a buy-in into me in general. And then I said, so let's make it a win-win, because this is too low for me, but let's do this. Number one, how about if I do an hour and 45 minutes, you don't need another speaker because I will fill out the space. So instead of paying between 4 and 5 for each, you'll pay me on this hour and a half to 45 minutes, you'll pay me 75. I said, it's a win for you, it's a win for me. And she's like, oh my God, that's a great idea. I said, great. I said, number two, do you have a different bucket to buy my books? I will have by then my second book. Can you buy 100 of my books? And she's like, I can absolutely do that. And I said, great. That's in my head. And I said, I'll give you a deal. Usually it's $20 personalized copy. I'll give you $15 for 100 copies. That's another $1,500. And then I said, and my last thing, I'm coming to South Carolina the night before. How about if we do a VIP the night before for only your board? And you can, and she's like, that would be great. And I said, can you get a sponsor for this 1 hour, 1 hour and a half at $3,000 only for special people? And she says, I think I could. So for what started as to $4,000 to $5,000 is going to end up at around $12,000. And then I said, of course, it's not including travel, right? So you're going to put me in a hotel, you buy me my flight, you get my food, you get my Uber, blah, blah, blah. And she says, oh, yes, 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 yes. So, you come into a conversation, they say 4 or 5, you end the conversation 12. So that's, something that if anybody else there think, how do I up it? You negotiate back and forth and you make them understand that it's a win-win, that they got such a deal. So that's what I wanted.
That's huge. I mean,
I know.
Anything else you want to add some more to that? I'll let you get that. Go ahead. That's
I'm
gold
just
right
waiting.
there.
Now I have you all people praying for me that I actually get that gig, because when I do that, then I'm like, yes, I did it.
So no, I mean, that's super duper duper important. So for those who don't know, you may have seen in the corner in Doris's page, it says ambassador. So SpeakerHub, we put together along with Lethea Owens, a group of 15 highly skilled speakers that are the best in class. The same way that Michael Jordan Sneakers has Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic and these other athletes that they sponsor. We wanted to try out a program like that with top of the line speakers so that we could, number one, we wanted them to be example of the work that's necessary. But also I had a little selfish interest that they could come on and share gems like Doris just shared about how to negotiate up from a $4,000 gig to get it up to 3X using some of the other principles that we've talked about. So that program is really important to me because it gives us exposure to a group that traditionally gets invited on stage versus having to go out in the pitch. But this particular group that we're working with, they're interested in growing beyond where they are. So not only are they trying to increase their fees, but they're also trying to get 30, how many gigs you do last year? 30 what?
32.
32 gigs, right? But she's trying to push that maybe to 40, right?
60,
While pushing, okay, my bad.
That's my goal, 60. Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to get to 60 while increasing her fees at the same time, right?
Let me tell you why, so people understand why do I want to do that. Yes, the money is nice and definitely is a good motivator, okay? But number one, the reason I want to do it is because I think that message is right now so needed. What the message that I'm giving of optimism, of mental fitness, of collaboration, of being the champion that you are. This is what I talk about. So to me, that's really important. I mean, the world, it seems like sometimes more dark than light. So, and I think I am bringing a lot of light wherever I go. So I want to do that. That's number one. Number two reason, if you guys know about National Speaker Association, because that's how we got connected with Ron. We have a category that's called CSP, Certified Speaking Professionals. I am one of the people on the ambassadors that have not done that yet. And to get there, we need 250 speaking gigs in order to be eligible. That's the first thing. And then the other things, how much money you made every year, consecutive years, how much, video testimonials, this, that, all that stuff. So one of the reasons I am wanting to do 60 is because I want to stay in line so that I am in a track for CSP, because there's only, I don't know, Frank Kitchen will tell you more because he's on the committee, but there are very low percentage, less than 10% of speakers in the world that are CSP recognized. And when you do that, you have that symbol on your website, on your LinkedIn. It's automatically people will pay more. Event planners will pay more because they know CSP from non-CSP. So that's it. So the first step is starting to get speaking and marking it down and connecting the information. And number two, rubbing shoulders with people like Lithia, Frank Kitchen, a lot of the other ones in ambassadors that are that. And they inspire me to keep on pushing. So I hope that somebody here saying, I should be, motivated to like move forward and like do this more, because it's good. And if your message, you believe in your message and you feel like in your body that this is what God wants you to do, then like, hello, this is it. So that's what I'm doing.
No, that's really, really, really important. How long have you been speaking? You mentioned that there's the goal of getting to 250 gigs, and
Yes,
60
yes.
will push you over that. So how long have you been doing speaking?
So I have started my speaking in 2018. I've been in education for 30 years. I ran a school, so I'm very much comfortable in speaking to other people. And I did not know the first thing about how do you actually become a professional paid speaker. And so when I left July 1st, 2018, my education job, I didn't have any website. I had nothing, zero, nothing. The only thing I had was a manuscript for a book because my sister was diagnosed with cancer, not even published. Like I did not even know how to go get it published. Okay. So you're looking at somebody that literally from zero to hero. It just came to me right now. Oh my God, we should write it down. So I was the hero for myself, not to other people, right? To myself, because I said, I had my ears perked open, listened to people with experience more than me. And I was like, okay, they said I should join Toastmasters. All right. I don't know. Think about it. Don't know what Toastmasters does, but I'm going. And then somebody said, oh, you should join National Speaker Association. And every state has a chapter or even two, depending on the size of the chapter. I'm like, really? I thought it was a gun organization first, because honestly, I mean, like I was that ignorant. Okay, did not know. So I'm like, I joined. I'm like, okay, I'm joining this NSA, and just mingling every month with people who use the spoken word as their way of, sharing who they are and making money. That's it. So then between the practice and the business of what NSA also offers you, I just joined. And then slowly, I said, oh, the people are having their sizzle reel. So how the hell do you do that? Like, how do you get that? So I look into stuff. And when somebody says, oh, do you want to do a sizzle reel? I said, if you put me on a stage and you give me a video camera that is 4K, let's do it. So now I understand. And right now I'm working with a Las Vegas videographer who just videotaped me last month. I was doing something in Las Vegas on a stage, big audience. And he's now doing my sizzle reel, taking 6 of my recent videos and putting it together. Okay. So you grow. If you're welcome to go to my website and look. The videos you will see there are from 2019, right there, like a 5-minute talk. Why? And I was on a stage, I was talking, it was my speech. The people in the audience were my family members. Okay. The people in the audience were NSA friends and my own husband. There's a picture of you can see my husband there in the picture. I'm like, oh my God, thank God nobody knows it's my husband. Okay. But that was how you start. He's like, you don't know. So, and the only thing is choose the right, oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah. That video with me with my skirt and that was this one. This video, you can find it more. That was 2019. I prepared, I stood in front of the mirror and practiced a 5-minute speech. Okay. And then because I'm a teacher, I know how to speak in front of people, but I still needed to make it interesting and whatever. So that's what it came. You're welcome to go. They're all on my page. You feel free to find out. Yeah.
No, this is incredible. So I want to ask you a couple more questions. So we're in overtime by 2 minutes. If you have 5 minutes, I think it'll be helpful. So last year you did 32 gigs, right? How many did you do in 2023? Do you remember?
Because now I have an Excel sheet, with all of my, right? Like, oh my God, I got an Excel sheet. I want to say something similar to that, but lower cost per talk.
Okay.
Right?
And then 2022.
2022, maybe 20 events. And then most of these 20 events were in small groups. And it's okay to do it for CSP. You can do in small groups, presentation, workshops, stuff like that. As long as you make more than $500 per talk, you can still apply. Yeah, but let me tell you, I remember that I was like, how would I? Here's my first talk on a stage. Here's a true story, so help me God. I go to a workshop about how to be a better speaker. Like I'm an attendee, okay? There's 250 people in the hall. This person on a stage teaching us how to be a speaker, okay? They say put your name in a basket and maybe it will be chosen out of a bag and you can have 2 minutes with the person on the stage and they can see how you do. Lo and behold, my name is picked up. God's hands in everything. So I'm on the stage, okay? I'm doing my little 2 minutes of whatever she was saying. And people were laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, people are laughing. Oh my God, you know? Okay, I come down on the stage. Somebody approaches me and she says, hey, Doris, I am the organizer of the Superwoman Summit here in Portland in 2 months. Let's have coffee. So I'm like, you better believe it, I'm having coffee with her. Okay. So I was like, book me today. So I go, I meet with her. Smartly, I bring my book in my hand, like as a gift, right? Because always go with gifts. Always. My God, gift away everything. So I go, I bring her my book, and I'm thinking, we're just going to talk about maybe next year, maybe 2 years, maybe maybe she wants me to take pictures of the speakers. I'm like, at the end of 25 minutes of coffee, she says to me, would you like to be my closing keynote? I'm like, oh shit, I don't even have a speech. I don't even have a speech. You know, I go home, I tell my husband, honey, I have a talk, but I don't have a talk. What am I going to do? So he's like, honey, he tells me, I trust you. You talk. And I was like, I put together a 20-minute story to these 200 women. And I come that day, I see that she has a videographer to take videos of the event. Now, see, I don't know anything about being on a stage, videography, like what? So I go to the videographer and I said, could you record my session and send it to me? And she says, well, it will cost you. And I said, well, you're already here, right? Because I don't have 2 pennies to rub. I said, you're already here. So how much will it be? And she says, well, I can do it for $250. I said, sold. $250. I knew back then that it was a good deal. So she gave me, this was the first videos that I have with me on a stage, showing my energy and all that, blah, blah. And I use that to get my next gigs. So see, be with your eyes open and say, how can I go better? Literally, that's what happens. And I'm like so excited about it. And you can see that, right?
Well, the reason why I wanted to ask is because it's progress, right? And sometimes we want to skip the steps. And what you went through was, hey, I accepted a gig before I was prepared, right? I got prepared. I did the gig. I made the most of it by getting a videographer to record me.
That's right.
That boosted your confidence to let you know that you could do it.
100%.
So then now, in that first year, how many speaking gigs did you do? And there's no wrong number. Because
in 2019, so 2019,
Yep.
2019, I did like the Superwoman Summit and then maybe 10 others, not big speaking, to small groups, to like an ERG, right? That's where I started with ERG. The ERG stands for
Employee Resource Group.
Thank you. That's it.
Yep.
And so I did that, because they have some money, but not a lot of money. And so I schmoozed them. And it was like I was going from one semiconductor company to another, all ERG people, talking about whatever. And then COVID happened, right? 2020 March. And I'm like, oh my God, nobody's going to invite me. I'm not going to make any money. I might as well find another job. But then again, I don't want to find another job. So then what do I do? And I think I mentioned it before, God. And I'm sitting in my office, not knowing what to do. And my friend, whom I met at National Speaker Association, says to me, hey, Doris, did you hear about this thing called positive intelligence? And I'm like, no idea what that is. And she's like, they have 6 weeks of free training. And I'm like, I'm home, nothing to do, nobody to see. Yes, we'll do it. So I joined this positive intelligence. I became number 45 coach in the world. This is the book behind me. This is how I make a lot of my money, is because I am still very active in the positive intelligence realm. So see, it's like God gives you lemon, you make lemonade, you know? That's what happens. And then so positive intelligence became like part of what I do, mental fitness. And I wouldn't have done it unless COVID happened and my ears were perked up to hear my friend Shandy tells me, hey, what about this? Right? So surround yourself with people who give you ideas and be open. Be open.
No, that's a really big deal. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of times we think that again, speaking is a lonely business, and you can kind of feel like you're going in the right direction, or you're not going in the wrong direction, or you're not making progress because you're watching other people's highlight reels. But conversations like this that show a gradual progression towards more and more
Yes.
is really important. Did anybody have any questions? See you later, Jasmine. Did anybody have any questions for Doris while she's here today, about her progress or how she did what she did? Her steps of bumping that 4,500 up to 12,000, and that was genius. I don't know if you all have any questions or comments for Doris while she's here before we head out.
I'm just saying, I just love the energy, and I'm going to be in on these calls, and I'm excited to be here. Man, Ron, I just stumbled upon your platform. I don't know how on LinkedIn, but I'm here and I'll be here.
Hey,
Doris,
you're
you're
always
awesome, lady. I mentioned God and Lemonade thing too, because I just became a paraplegic 2 years and 4 months ago. I fell in my own house and broke my neck. So I'm paralyzed from C5, from the chest down. But I've got such an amazing recovery that's taken place that getting the word out and inspiring people is like, oh my God. I'm on fire with it too, lady.
Oh, I love that. Well,
Yeah.
God bless you, number one. And I've seen when I was talking, I saw you. You were in the top of my thing, so I see you're smiling and grinning, and I'm thinking that's it. You see, because I do think, and I talk a lot about energy contagion, and how we come and what we bring, and
That's right.
all that. Even though we may come from an oi situation, I call it oi situation. I use oi meaning like not good. So there is this oi in life. Everybody's got an oi. My background, I'm from Israel. I'm an Israeli. There's a plenty of oi happen in my land. Okay. Plenty of oi. Yet I am refusing to go down that path of no light. So that's the key, is how do you keep and you're living it, Mark, you're doing it.
God,
no, that's
he did it. He's doing it. I love it.
so. Mark, I want to share someone. Jasmine, you want to go ahead and say something?
Doris, congratulations. Nothing against all the men, but this is fantastic, great woman energy. And, coming back with resilience and doing everything we need to get done. I believe that way too. And I believe you said the hand of God is in everything. Me sitting right here, right now, I always believe that I'm taken from glory to glory. And I sit here and I had an appointment and I keep looking at the watch and saying, oh my God. And then they text me. I clicked off, they text me and they said, oh, we're running late. And I scoop back on, because when you're meant to hear something, you're meant to hear something.
That's right.
So
That's right.
here we are. So in your speaking engagement, because we're putting our goals. I put a note to myself, I'm going to change my goals right away, because I believe when you limit yourself, you put a limit on what God can do for you. And I believe if you have big, big prayers and you put it out there, somehow the universe, when you make that decision, something comes in and he puts me in the right place at the right time. When I met Lennox, it was the right place at the right time. I believe SpeakerHub and all the people on here, the right place at the right time. So thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, you are so welcome. And talking about goals, I don't know if anyone here does I'll just show you. I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm going to show you. I have this in my office, in my desk, right here, attached to my things. Every morning I read it. Every single amazing morning I read my 2025 affirmation, and I call it my affirmation for flourishing. And I read it every day to myself. out loud, not in my brain. I want to hear what my mouth is saying. Okay. And I say it to myself every time. And the more you say those positive things out loud, the more it becomes you, right? The more you don't let that brain and that fear, which we all have, because trust me, what I'm writing here, I'm like, makes me shake, like, oh my God, would I, how can I do this? But I'm keep on saying that because I will get there. And I think that God is great. And I trust also in myself. So not only trusting in God and I am a strong believer in God, but I also trust in myself. And I just push myself forward and say, okay, a little setback, how do I pivot and make this work and make this good? From small problems to bigger problems, right? That's the way to go. And if you have that love in your heart for yourself, and then for other people, and then for something that is greater than you and people, because sometimes relying only on people can be disappointing. Then you're good. Then you're good, and you just keep on going.
No, it's a big deal.
Thank
Faith
you,
is
thank you.
taking the first step when you can't see the rest of the staircase.
That's right. Right. And you've done that, Ron. You have done that. You have taken the first step without seeing where are these stairs coming and are they going down? Are they going up?
Oh yeah, ask Angela. I thought they was going down this morning.
This morning. Yeah.
In our morning meeting this morning, it was one of our toughest meetings of the year because we're working on things, right? We're always building and trying to get better. And and we just want to get more people on stage. So keeping the faith is really, really, really important. I want to share something with you because I met a guy last week that I think is incredible. And his name is Abhilash Tommy. And he set a call on my calendar. He had reached out to me on LinkedIn because he saw me on LinkedIn. And he says, I'm one of 9 people that have sailed all the way around the world by myself in a boat with no internet or anything. Took me 253 days to do it. There's only 9 people in the world that have completed it. The first time he attempted it, he fell 65 or 68 feet and broke his back and was completely paralyzed at sea by himself with no internet or anything. Here's a photo of him, right? He was in his boat for 14 days, for 4 days by himself until he was rescued with the broken back. It was another 16 days before they were able to get him into a hospital where they could actually perform a surgery to help him. So he has a titanium rod in his back, and he did the thing again. This is when he was rescued. This is the day while he's still in the boat when he was rescued. That was him in the hospital. The other one I showed was him in the hospital when they finally got him to a hospital 14 days later or something like that. And he went back and did the same race again with the titanium rod in his back and became the 9th person to ever complete it. So resilience, stick-to-itiveness, positive attitude, determination, you have it in you, whether it's Mark or any of us that have goals. And it really just comes down to positive mindset and understanding that if there's a will, there's usually a way. So that could mean, whatever your podcast goals are, whatever your speaking goals are, whatever your industry goals are on our side, it really just comes down to understanding that, yeah, you're in a bad situation, but people have been in worse and survived.
Yeah.
Right.
And not only that, thrived. Not only survived, thrived.
Exactly. They've overcome those things. So wherever you are today doesn't mean that you got to be there tomorrow. You can be in bigger and better places. So I want everyone to be encouraged. Doris, thank you so much for your energy today, because I didn't have the energy. I had done an energy. I'm like, somebody better ask a question or something because this is gonna be a long day for me.
See, I help you out.
There it
Handshake hand, friend.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll
thank
figure
you,
out what's up
everybody.
with
It was
those
a pleasure.
11. We'll find out what's up with those 11 pitches that are stuck. But in the meantime, continue pitching. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Ron, quick question. So you're going to help me get transitioned over to SpeakerHub?
Yep, I'm going to help you with that. So right after this call, give me about 15 minutes. Let's meet again at 1:30 or 12:30 your time, and I'll get you transitioned over.
Cool. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.